hopefully Jesse, you didn't leave. He was like, what about that dog last night? And I'm like, I know. It was a whole, like, comedy of errors because he played this very important show last night. Very important. With one of his favorite musicians of all time. He opened for Mike Watt. Mike Watt. Right? That's kind of a big deal. Who doesn't love Mike Watt, right? What a cool guy. So, he's just been really stoked about this, and he sometimes when he has to play shows, he'll borrow my old phone so he can use the Square app on it to sell merch. And I'm like, hell yeah, baby, sell that merch. Sell that merch at the Mike Watt show. Ugh. Forgetting what band. Minutemen. Mike Watt's from the Minutemen. Ugh. R.I.P. Boone. What a great band. Anyway, you know, being a Cali dude, Carlos was pretty stoked to meet Mike Watt. I don't think I've ever been to Pedro. He talks to me about Pedro a lot. Anyway, I let him borrow my old phone, which is what I usually use. My new phone does a sleep app. My old phone, I listen to Game of Thrones on YouTube. Ugh, and it just helps me like fall asleep a little bit faster. I just have like one video going of it. I don't listen to it all night. But, so this dog was barking like a maniac, and like I said, she started like 2:30 in the morning, so he was home. She pissed him off. He left the room. All right, I'm gonna go put this garlic in the sink. Hold on. All right. So he kicked her out. Oh no, he kicked himself out. He took his pillow and he went to the couch. He's like, screw you, dog. Because she was just barking at stuff in the yard, like raccoon or squirrel or, I don't know, whatever is a nocturnal animal that she can smell. And it was so cute, you guys. Let me tell you, so we have a pretty tall bed, and she doesn't sleep on it. She sleeps in her own bed on the floor. She is a screwy patella, and I don't want her jumping out of the bed in case she, you know, needs to. So she can reach the window, so she's a small dog, but if she like gets on her back legs, she can look out the window just barely. It's like an old person sitting on a phone book when they drive, like that's her looking out the window. So I look out of the side of the bed, and that's what she's doing. She's like stretching her little body as hard as she can stretch. She's looking, whoa, whoa, whoa. So cute, but irritating at 2:30 in the morning. If I had to go to work today, I would have been extra irritated about it. Side note, I'm not loving that chunk of ginger, so I just found a new one. That's what I'm saying. We have all sorts of weird old food in our house. So he left. He went to the kitchen, or to the living room to sleep. And I didn't realize, I thought he was just in the bathroom or something, so I kicked her out. I opened the door and was like, go on, girl. Go bark at a vent or something. And a couple minutes later, he lets her back in the bedroom. And I realize what's going on. I'm like, oh, he wants to sleep out there, which he needs. He's worked hard. He's played a show. Rock and roll dude, man. He needs to sleep. He also, you know, it's 2:30 in the morning. He has to be at work today. He's at work right now. That's where he just called me from. So I was like, no, let him sleep. So I had to go find my headphones that plug into my phone, which are normally in my purse. Oh. But if I plug in the headphones, then the sleep app doesn't work anymore, because that needs to be plugged in all night so your phone doesn't die. And so from 2:30 on, you know, I plug in the headphones and it goes, fudge. It's like, I can't hear you anymore. For some reason it uses a microphone. And I'm pretty sure I don't snore. I'm pretty sure those are his snores they're capturing, but whatever. It's pretty accurate for, I'm pretty sure I don't snore, you know. By the way, I'm not peeling the ginger. So I'm gonna cook. There's a little bit of ginger skin in the meatball, like everyone will be fine. It's not the end of the world, and this is for personal use. If I was in a restaurant, I might care a little bit more. But yeah, so I turn on my Game of Thrones. I'm on the first book, but like chapters 41 through 50, I think. So Daenerys is eating the horse heart. No spoilers, because we've all seen this show. We know what happens. She eats the fucking horse heart. It's so gross. And she does it. Watching that was really hard, but reading it was a little bit gnarlier, because she's like describing how stringy it is. It was a lot. It was a lot. All right, I think that's enough ginger. Yeah, that's like a solid... I have given 0 measurements. But you saw that was like a pound of pork, a pound of beef, a small onion, a small shallot, 7 cloves of garlic, and I'd say that's like a teaspoon of ground ginger. Maybe 1.5 inches, 2 inches of ginger ground up on a microplane. All right, good enough for me. Go rinse this, BRB. Oh, I forgot something. We need eggs in our meatball. Hold, please. All right, so that's basically all the like fresh stuff I'm gonna add to it. I know I'm a bad kid for just throwing this vegetable garbage away, but whatever. I don't really feel bad about throwing food away, even though we compost in the city, because there's rats in the dump. I think my garlic skins, it'll decompose. That doesn't stress me out if I throw away something that is compostable. We went decades without doing that. It's okay. I've also not rinsed my hands yet because I'm about to get in the meat, but oh, hell yeah! We've been doing a lot of work on the house, so here in the kitchen we have a thing of nitrile gloves, which I will probably put on to mix this meat. No joke. Just trying to make sure I'm not forgetting anything. I'm pretty good at just winging it and then afterwards being like, oh, I'm supposed to put that in it. Again, whatever. I don't follow recipes. Recipes are for chumps. Actually, I take that back. They're not for chumps. Recipes are not for chumps. They are for people who maybe are Virgos. I'm a Scorpio, so, and I've been cooking my whole life. I know it's good. This is panko breadcrumb. Oh my God, I just broke my jar. How did I do that? Can you hear the children screaming? I live next to a school. All right, well, somehow I messed this lid up. Anyway, I'm dumping like probably a cup of breadcrumbs in there. God, really, what did I do? Excuse me. Let me just struggle with this jar for a while. Hold, please. Oh my God. I thought this jar was from IKEA, but I've never had a jar do this to me before. Oh my God, this is insane. There we go. There we go. Woo! Crisis averted. Panko jar is back in action. Okay, so I did panko. The other dry thing I'm going to put in is, this is gochugaru. It's Korean roasted chili flake. Again, like probably a 1/4 cup, maybe a 1/2 cup, because it's not that spicy. It's really not. Let's add some salt. This is Diamond Crystal kosher salt. If you're not using Diamond Crystal, you're not alive. It's much lighter in flavor than traditional kosher salt, so I'm adding a lot, like a 1.5 pinches. And I'm talking like full pinch. I ain't wimping out. And then I'm gonna grind some pepper. I have an adjustable, I just finally treated myself to a nice pepper grinder. I haven't had a good one for years. I've been using just whatever. Our roommate actually had a really nice one, so we were using his, but he doesn't live here anymore, so. I like pepper. And I have it on a pretty coarse grind because, again, it's getting cooked. It's gonna be in the meat. It's gonna get soft. Cool. Put it back on a lower setting. All right. Oh, I just touched the garlic. All right. I'm gonna add 2 eggs. We have brown eggs right now. Normally we don't. Normally we have the cheaper eggs. We just, I think, got some from the gross out maybe. So we happen to get fancier ones for a lesser price. Also, I'm throwing away the eggshells. Don't judge me, you guys. Eggshells are good for the earth. They'll be fine at the dump. Okay, just had to rinse the egg off my hands. I think I got all the dry stuff in there. So now I'm going to add a little bit of liquid smoke. This is hickory sabor. I always pour it into the lid first because if you add too much liquid smoke, it's disgusting. But if you have just the right amount, it's delicious. Ooh, ooh, it smells good. Okay. I like things smoky. So I'm adding, like inside the lid, there's a little rim. Here, I'm gonna pour this on cam so you can see. I'm really not adding a lot and you won't even know it's there. I'm gonna put my eggs away. And is there anything else I wanna add? I don't think so. Let's put this away. Let's just throw that away. Okay. There's my bowl. And kind of, no, you can't see it. It's too bright outside. All right. So here's my liquid smoke lid, right? Ready? Are you ready? That much. So it's maybe 4 drops. And unfortunately, I just dropped it all in the panko breadcrumbs so they have absorbed it all. So they're gonna be smoky. All right, the other liquidy thing I have is sriracha. I'm just gonna add a nice squirt of that. And then I just happen to have some soy bay in the fridge. I need to use it up, so I think that'll be good in a meatball. Even though they're already pretty well seasoned, just adding a little bit of that, maybe like a tablespoon, maybe. All right, let me put my cold stuff away. You see my fridge? Did you see my fridge? You kind of can. Again, I'm just checking to make sure I'm not forgetting anything. No, I think we're good. I think we're good. Sorry, copy break. Okay. I'm gonna move this to the shank. I have a lot of dishes to do once I'm done with this, so kind of not stoked about that. All right, let me clean up just a little bit. BRB. I feel like I'm forgetting something. That's why I'm not mixing it yet. Oh, I think I'm good. There's no oil in them, but they're fatty meats, so they'll drip oils. I did eggs, I did salt and pepper, I did breadcrumb, onion and garlic, ginger, meat, dry stuff. Yeah, okay. I'm totally using gloves. I used to use these more, or I actually used to make my husband do the mixing when I had long fake nails. You do not want to clean raw meat out of a long fake nail. It's just, it's possible, it's fine, it's doable, but it's not my preference. And I feel disgusting and wasteful, because what are you gonna pick the meat out? No, that's so gross. So even though I'm not grossed out by meat, I just do this for cleanliness purposes. Much easier to clean. Oh, fudge. I immediately remembered. I wanted to add green onion, but it's okay. I think with a shallot and an onion, we have enough onion flavor in here. So now I'm just mixing it up, making sure everyone is friendly, making sure the egg is fully incorporated, making sure the meats are mixed together. You know how to mix meatballs, I ain't gonna tell you. Oh, so much easier with gloves. It's also like very cold, so it's nice to do with gloves so your hands aren't as cold. You know, they are pretty cold. I make this a lot of the times and then turn it into, instead of meatballs, meatloaf. Asian meatloaf is like delicious. And that's actually what Carlos said when he was eating the banh mi, was like, oh, this is a lot like your meatloaf. I mean, it was good. Mine just has more sazon to it, you know, because I ain't afraid of no garlic. Whereas people who normally eat banh mi might not want a mouthful of garlic. I do. I sure do. Cures what ails ya and keeps the vampires away. All right. So I'm kind of doing, you can probably tell, I do like a foldy technique where I scoop up under the meat and then lift it to the top. That way you don't get a big pocket of beef or a big pocket of pork or a big pocket of breadcrumb. That would be nightmarish. And then I just kind of do like a pinchy, oh, that's so gross. for not meat eaters. I do like a pinchy thing to make sure, again, that there's not a big chunk of one type of something there. And I feel like when you do the foldy method, you kind of incorporate stuff a little bit better, but you're not squishing it. Because you do want these to be like airy and delicious. All right. I feel like I just saw a little breadcrumby spot. Let's get that out. I'm almost done mixing. You really just want to make sure it's homogeneous. And there will be big chunks of like onion or shallot or whatever. Like that's fine. That's totally fine. In fact, those big chunks that hang out and get cooked, very good. I'm also trying a new technique. Normally, like I say, I make this meatloafy and I just put it in the pan and let it cook, and there's, you know, grease around it. That's fine. If I make these in soup, I just drop it right in the hot broth and let the broth cook it. And so then again, all the delicious meaty porky fats get into the soup. It's part of why my fafa is so good, why my husband likes it so much. Today I'm gonna cook it like actual meatballs, and I'm using a sheet tray with a rack over it, which again, I've never done before. I bought this rack initially for cooling purposes. I was only gonna use it for sweet stuff. And then I realized just how clutch it is when you're frying things. You want it to stay crispy. So I think I need a second cooling rack. One for sweet stuff, one for meat stuff. I think I got everything. Yep, this is looking pretty good. So I think I'm gonna leave one glove on. This hand mostly didn't get touched, so we'll take that one off. Oh God, ugh, ugh, greasy meat hands. Okay, there we go, inside out, into the garbage can. This is the tray of which I speak. There's already an onion piece in it. Let me just hold that over it because it's about to go in the oven. So it's a regular size sheet pan with a rack on top. I'm gonna use this scoop to make my meatballs all the same size because I can. I'm a big fan of a scoop. I own every size of scoop, and this just happens to be the one from OXO, which was actually, I think, the first one I had. Someone gave it to me probably when I was a teenager because I'm a freaking nerd. But it's really nice for cookies. They are all the same size, but this sucker broke. I don't know if you could tell, but its pusher bar comes out over the edge, and then when you squeeze it, it doesn't go all the way to the side. It came out of its little track down here. So my husband fixed it for me, and it's still my favorite because it's such a nice size, but for things like meatballs, this is exactly perfect. I have a smaller one for candies I make at Christmas time, and I have a larger one for if you're making those Martha's Dover cookies that are big, they look like nips. Some sick freak just said, oh wait, you have a husband, NVM. What does that mean? Do you not want to eat my meatballs now? Bye-bye. Yeah, you wish. You wish you had a woman making you meatballs. So anyway, I'm just gonna like mostly fill up this scoop. Mostly round. Maybe not. And then let's see. Oh, beautiful. I'll probably do a little one-hand action. Cool. That looks good. I am not left-handed. I am right-handed, so it's a little weird scooping this, but whatever. Like, a grown woman making meatballs on Twitch doesn't have a husband? Yeah. I sunk my claws in once I found a good one who does things like plays shows with Mike Watt. Mike, what? Did I finish that story? Anyway, he slept on the couch last night because the dog was a maniac. And I listened to Game of Thrones. Oh yeah, I left off it where Daenerys was eating the heart. Also, they left this out of the show. They didn't put it in the show, but immediately afterwards, like, so she eats this heart, right? And the crones, or, what are they called? Oh, we got a Russian comment. Okay, I don't know what that says. Good for you, your Cyrillic alphabet. Dash Colleen, I think, are the ladies that are, used to be Khaleesi's, and then their husbands died. They take her to go get washed off because, you know, she's covered in, like, horse's blood. And so she goes into, like, a river or whatever, pond. I don't know, I'm falling asleep. And gets cleaned off. And she comes out of the water and, like, her ladies in waiting are trying to put a robe on her because, you know, she's nude. It's cold. She just ate a fucking heart. Raw heart. And Khal Drogo's like, I see them titties. And they bone 1, 2, 3 thrusts right there, right in front of everyone. And then she can put her robe on. I was like, all right, are y'all Scorpios or what? Come on, Khal Drogo. But I don't know, just the way it's written is like, oh, 3 thrusts and he's done? Okay. As children outside my house are playing Red Rover at the Christian school that I live next door to. And I'm talking about NSFW scenes from Game of Thrones. Whatever. I'm kind of thinking this tray is not going to fit all my meatballs. They are going to shrink a little bit while they cook. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. I'm trying to think of what else I've been talking about. Oh, still can't get over Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I pirated a version of it yesterday. Oh God. Okay, good. That someone definitely filmed in the theater. I've pirated movies for many years. I watch every Oscar. I probably should not be admitting this on the internet. Not often. I watch pirated films. Used to it. Back in the day, it was very common. We don't really do it anymore now. We have streaming services. You don't need to pirate films as much. But I've never seen one with an advertisement for a casino in the middle of it. That was weird. I was like, wait, this wasn't on the radio. Numero uno. Only 4 cents. Make up a man. I don't remember how that commercial went, but it was funny. God, I love that movie. So I've been listening to a lot of film criticism about it, and while it is a great film, it's not perfect. There's definitely some parts that could be shortened. And one of the podcasts I discovered was the Rewatchables. I've never listened to that one. Super cool. I listened to an episode on Clueless last night, because unfortunately all the things they call rewatchable I haven't seen a ton of times. I just flung meat on clean stuff. Oy vey. Anyway, Clueless is a jewel of a film. I watched it multiple times as a teenager, like probably at least once, twice a week. This various summers, I owned it on VHS. I would watch Mallrats, I would watch Clueless, I would watch Pecker. Those are my 3 movies. One of which has stood the test of time. Clueless is insanely good. And I will say that because Amy Heckerling maybe directed my other favorite film of all time, which is Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Another jewel of a film. It's fantastic. Just a little time capsule of, 1980 high school, but at the same time it felt like anyone's high school experience. I went to school 20 years after that film was released. I was in high school, right? 20 years. And I think she just really captures what it's like to be a teenager in America. And, like, granted, Clueless was very specific to a rich person, an LA person. Ugh. Stringy ass meat. But I still could relate to it. I feel like there are parts in that movie that are relatable to anyone. So that's part of what makes it so good. And here's what really makes it so good. Name a scene that doesn't need to be in Clueless. I'll give you time. Oh, right, there isn't one. Every scene is necessary, is perfection. The other thing I learned about that movie last night, which, so good, one of the best factoids, is that Alicia Silverstone really didn't know how to say Haitians. So when she says the Haitians, that's pure accident. That's just her not knowing, being a teenage girl, essentially, not knowing how that word is said. I thought that was so cool that was kept in the film, and that's fully perfect for the character. Like, perfect. So I know it's based off of what, Emma? Which is a film I have not seen for quite a while. And a book that I haven't ever read. So really I should go back and try and absorb this pop culture a little bit more. I'm wondering if I should put these meatballs in the fridge or the freezer before I bake them. Because they are getting a little bit liney from this tray. And I'm just kind of squeezing them on here. I'm thinking they might all fit. Also, making meatballs live on stream is fulfilling my need to be farting off today. Normally I fart off by playing Minecraft, but I have stuff to do, and yeah, I guess it's noon. It's been about a half hour. I still haven't even really finished my breakfast, to be honest with you. But I have laundry going, and I'm doing this kind of, it's not laborious, I mean, it's a little bit laborious task of cooking. But once I'm done doing this, I think I'm done. I don't need to cook anything for the rest of the night, let alone the rest of the week. I think I'm fully done. Yesterday, I roasted carrots and cauliflower, and I fried tofu chicken style. So I'm calling them tofu tendies. Normally, I'm way too lazy to make anything fried chicken style because just go to Popeyes and get some fried chicken and you don't have to clean anything. But I watched Julin make a chicken sandwich out of tofu, and it reminded me I have 3 bricks of tofu in the fridge. Fry them up, dude, it'll be good. And I've never done the technique where you freeze, unfreeze, freeze, unfreeze, and then cook. That's a pain in the ass. That's not normally my style, pain in the ass cooking. But I had the tofu and I had the time. So the day before yesterday, I started the freezing process, and it made a big difference in the texture. It really looked like chicken meat, which, you know, I've seen people do it online. I'm like, that's not what chicken meat. I eat chicken meat and that's not what it looks like. But, yeah, it's pretty spot on. I don't know if I have, yes, I do have another small tray. I'll just put parchment down if I need to use another tray. I'm also a crazy tray person, so every time we go to the restaurant supply store or cash and carry, they have them at both, which I think in some places is called Smart and Final, and now here is called Smart Food Service, changed its name. That's where I got pretty much all of my cooking stuff. The restaurant supply specifically is where I got all my sheet trays and this kind of, I immediately forgot the name for it. The rack. Thank you. Thank you, Maisie. And I wish I had more. Ina Garten is, like, come on, she's a goddess. And if you watch her cooking show, there'll just be these, like, random clips of her going to grab a sheet pan, jelly roll pan, as she calls it. And she has, like, probably 10 of them just stacked up, clean, ready to go. That's my goal. I want unlimited jelly roll pans. And these are the best baking pan, by the way. Don't buy them anywhere but at the cooking supply or the restaurant supply. Get this. Oh, it's the best pan. I've tried them all. You don't want nonstick. You don't want grooves. Just a good old aluminum pan is perfect, and it comes in every size. I have 2 of the ginormous size that I don't even honestly think fit in our oven for making candies every year. I actually need to wash those today. I have, I think, 3 of this size, which is just the standard, I forget what it is. I could look at the bottom, but it's covered in meatballs. Oh, I might fit them. Come on, girl. All right. Yeah, I have at least 3 of these, and this is the crummy one. This is the bad one that I cook like French fries and stuff, oven savory foods. But the other ones that are sparkling perfect, those are for cookies, baby. If you put not a cookie on that tray, mommy's gonna be mad. Which I think happened recently, which is why I need to wash those big ones. But I almost wish there was a way to like scribe them, let's say savory and sweet, so there was a way to know. But I think this one's pretty obvious because it's just like stained on the inside. All right, I think I'm gonna make some of these meatballs pretty big in order to fit them all on the tray. My husband likes a big ball, so I think that'll be fine. You hear that? My husband. We're actually not married, but we've been together long enough to be common law married, so I call him my husband, even though he's not technically my husband. I should have saved that other glove, because that is what I feel bad about, is throwing away things like nitrile gloves. Those don't compost. Back when I did nails, I would go through tons of them. Actually, yeah, I think I am gonna make a smaller tray. Hold please. This is the half-size sheet pan. It fits inside this one I'm using quite nicely. I'm just gonna cover it in parchment really quick and then make some more meatballs on that. Just cause. This is quite the task, making parchment. Oh God. Without getting meat everywhere. Oh, I did it! I did it! Mad shout out to Costco parchment paper while we're at it. Look at how big this thing is. 205 square feet. It's 164 feet long. And you get 2 of them. It's the perfect size for my sheet pans. So if y'all are buying your parchment paper at Costco, I know this is a lot of paper. I want to say it was like $8 or $9 for the pack of 2, when usually one that's like half this size is $8 at the regular grocery store. And it's not like parchment paper goes bad. I have the extra one hiding elsewhere in the home. I almost had to break it open yesterday because I couldn't find this. It barely fits in a drawer. Stuff like this makes me so happy. Like a giant parchment paper. I'm never gonna run out. I love that. So that was my endorsement for the day. I'm gonna move this tray of completed meatballs over here on top of the stove and move that one. There we go. All right. So these ones obviously are going to be a little bit greasier. I can use my meaty glove to smush that down, because they're not on a rack. So we'll just see how these do. Rack versus no rack. My oven is ready to go, so I probably shouldn't have those meatballs on top of it, but whatever. I'm going to try and do this pretty quick, and these are going to be, again, kind of small. I'm going to try and make these just scoop size. I don't know if I said again why I said again. You don't need to use a scoop, by the way. I'm just a maniac. I like when things look the same. Like, if I've cooked something and they all look the same, I've done a great job. Especially things like cookies. Get yourself a cookie scoop. Just do it. Put it on your wish list. Ask Santa for it. He'll be thankful next year when he has cookies that are beautiful. Or you will. You'll just feel like a really good baker and chef by having even-sized things. All right, I'm almost down to the end. I think I have like 2 more meatballs left. Maybe 2.5. There's some oniony bits still in here, so we're just gonna cram those in. Oh yeah, that's one more meatball. One very oniony meatball. All right, good job, Maisie. Oh! All right, I only flung 2 meaty bits out into the world. So let's just pray my dog doesn't find those. Ah! All right, I was thinking maybe I should have kept that other glove on so I could roll the meatballs, but I think they're fine with a one-handed kind of a squeeze. All right, I'm gonna put this in the sink. Woo! I have a lot of cleaning up to do, so that's part of why I'm doing all this so early, is so that I can cook them and then get to dishwashing. I don't really want to do that, but I have to. All right, cool. So let's see, we got 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36. I think I have 38. 37, 38 meatballs. Pretty good. Just gonna give some of these a little bit of a squeeze, tighten them up a bit. So yeah, thanks for joining me on my meatball cooking sesh. Asia meatballs, it's Asia meatballs. Burner, 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 burner. Does anyone else get a song stuck in their head and then sing everything to the theme of that song? I have 2. I actually had a third that I was trying to incorporate, but it didn't work out. My first one is Girls on Film. Sing everything to the tune of Girls on Film. And then, as you just heard, Summertime Blues is my other song. I will sometimes just wake up with Summertime Blues stuck in my head, singing it to myself, singing it to the dog. It's not like I listen to that a lot. Not a big fan of Summertime Blues. It's not like it's my favorite song. All right. I think these are ready to go in. Watch me cook these balls. Watch me cook these balls. I'm kind of feeling like I should have put them in the freezer for a second. You know what? It's okay. It's fine. All right. Taking off the glove. Oh. My garbage can has a lock, and it somehow locked itself, and there was a piece of meat on top of the lock. Let's just take that out right now. So let's get this meat. Yep, got it. Got it. I'll spray that later. Don't worry. It'll get sprayed. And then let's do that. Okay. Cool. So here's tray 2. Ah! And then tray 1 is over here. There's already a hair stuck to it. I have removed the hair. It is now stuck to my hands. Okay, let's put these meatballs in. I wonder if I could show you that. Hi, welcome to my kitchen. Welcome to my meatballs. There's the tray number 1. There's the oven they're gonna go in. By the way, I purchased that oven myself when we bought this house. It didn't really have a working oven, so the fact that I can bake a meatball in an oven that I purchased myself is really exciting to me. So that's part of why I'm doing something like this. I don't think there's a flippy button. That's okay. And I'm certainly not looking at myself because the camera is right there. Hi. Let me just put my phone down for a sec while I put these meatballs in. So tray 2, tray 1.5. And then tray 1. Oh, it's beautiful. Look at that big old tray. She's going in. Ooh. I have the oven on bake, 350, pretty standard. It's just what the oven defaults to when I turn it on. We do have 3 racks in the oven, and the very bottom one has a pizza stone on it. Pizza stone just always lives in the oven, makes it hotter. I haven't had this oven for very long, so I'm still getting used to it. I don't know if that's a thing that other people do. I've only ever had a gas stoves, or excuse me, electric stoves. This is my first time in my life having a gas ring, and I love it. I've always wanted a gas range. Sorry, hold on, let me get my coffee. I like just talking to no one through my phone. This is really fun. So I haven't set a timer. I'm gonna cook them until they smell good. I'm gonna cook them until I take one off and crack it open and it looks done and it tastes good. And then I'm not really sure what we're gonna do with these. Like I said, I roasted some veg. We have some zucchinis and some cabbage that I haven't cooked yet. So I might just saute that later. I like to use cabbage instead of noodle for my husband. He freaking loves cabbage, and I love cabbage too. So sometimes I'll just saute it really quick. Sometimes he'll saute it really quick. Last night, since he was at this show, I made peanut noodles. He doesn't really eat peanut noodles. And it's quick and easy to do with ramen, a pack of ramen. And some peanut butter. And I added, I made like a peanut sauce. It's like a noodly bowl situation. It's pretty good. I always like to add corn to everything. Corn is my favorite food. So there's frozen corn and edamames in my peanut sauce. I've also asked, sorry my nose is so drippy, this just happens sometimes. I've asked for a little stool so I could sit down and chop. Oh, I'm on my heels right now because I get tired. Chopping is hard. So I think I'm gonna be done now because I'm done cooking. Maybe I'll show y'all inside the oven. How about that? I don't know how to turn the camera around, but whatever. Come on down with me. Also, how cute is this towel? It's a pineapple that has sunglasses on. As an adult, stuff like this really rocks my world. A freaking towel that matches my kitchen. And then my good friend Annette, who I used to work with, on my last day, she made me Irish soda bread and she gave it to me in this towel. And I was like, I'll give you your towel back. And she was like, don't worry about it, I have a ton. So this is actually one of the nicest kitchen towels I have. And I have that beautiful memory of how it held bread at one time. So yeah, very absorbent. Anyway, check out my meatballs. Ooh, they look good. They're cooking. Ooh, they already smell good. So yeah, thanks for watching me cook. That was super fun. I'm gonna save this to my YouTube, which is MAYZCraft. I'm usually doing Minecrafty stuff. I'm usually saving Minecrafty stuff. Why not? That's just where I'm gonna save all my Twitch streams. So thanks for watching me cook. If you have any questions, let me know. I love to talk about cooking. I love to talk about movies. I love to talk about food. I love to talk about whatever. Decoration. Why did I paint my kitchen red? Because I could. So yeah, thanks for joining in. I love you. Mean it. Have a beautiful day. Bye-bye. Oh, I do have a flippy button. Anyway, love you. Bye.